yes, sir, you can't handle the truth. We all know it's brilliant to be a soldier, but what if one soldier, like Bowe Bergdahl, gets so sad and down in the dumps that he wanders off in the middle of a war? Should we support him? Is he still a troop? Is he still entitled to loyalty and patriotism? How far does it reach? Let's have a look at some true news.
A bat could see this coming.
What? I mean, bats don't have eyes. Do you mean that a bat could sense it coming using his radar? Is what that bat would sense a news story that's simplified and reduced to disingenuous and dishonest ideas put together to maintain the necessity for military interventionism under the guise of supporting the troops? Is that what a bat could see coming, Greg?
The emerging Bowe Bergdahl defense paints him as a sympathetic whistleblower, a Snowden on the battlefield.
They hate Snowden on this show, don't they? Anyone who tells the truth's a problem.
Yes, he wasn't really leaving his post at all, says his defense.
That's like Greg Gutfield, a bloke that works at Fox News in the media in New York City, got the nerve to criticise someone who's on a battlefield. Hey! Never leave your post. Under no circumstances do I leave my post here at Fox. I sit here and lie all day long. It doesn't matter. Maybe I fancy a donut. I sit here. Maybe I fancy jerking off in the toilets. I sit here. Maybe Rupert Murdoch will walk by and I like to tickle his ball bags to get a raise. But I never leave my post, and neither should you.
But only heading to the nearest military post to report concerns about his unruly unit.
Before Greg gets too entrenched in his whirlwind of treachery and mad lies, here's some information for you. Bowe Bergdahl left his outpost in Afghanistan. Can't be that relaxing, can it? I mean, imagine he's a person like you, he's on an outpost in Afghanistan, probably a bit nervy. He was then caught by the Taliban and imprisoned for 5 years. So it's not like he wandered off and went to Chessington World of Adventures or found himself in Orlando at a water park having a time of his life with spring break teenagers flashing themselves at him. He was with the Taliban for 5 years. Now, I've not looked into it, but I don't imagine it's that relaxing. I mean, the Taliban, when you think of them, you don't think, I'd like to hang out with those guys for half a decade.
See, they were undisciplined, unlike Bowe, who had fled.
He'd fled, not like me. I'm here at Fox News doing the lies whenever I feel like maybe sometimes I got a bit of a headache and I'd like to flee. But I don't, Bowe. I stay here and I lie for Rupert.
I guess the sign of obedience is skipping out and then forcing your mates to go and find you.
Yeah! Do you think I'd ever put Bill O'Reilly and Hannity and that crazy judge woman in a position where they had to look for me, like because I'm behind the Coca-Cola stand, trying to lick the sugar out of the tray just to get some more treachery into my ridiculous system? No! And neither should you, Bowe.
And now he's throwing his fellow soldiers under the Humvee.
I changed it from Bash to Humvee. Good work, Greg.
But maybe I'm being too hard on the guy. In this modern world where patriotism is mocked, perhaps desertion is a distinction.
Yeah, actually, by the way, I'm being sarcastic.
Forget the court-martial, give the guy a medal instead.
If you look at Bowe Bergdahl's face, you can see there is a man who's been through a great deal of trauma and distress. Contrast it with the sneering, gulping, wicked face of Greg Gutfield.
After all, war is bad, soldiers kill people, and America's a bully.
How can he decry the idea of corporate America, not the American people, but corporate America, being a bully from his podium of sheer bullying? He's literally bullying that guy now. He's being vindictive, not thinking how it must feel to be that guy. He's removing the vital and necessary information that this story is trying to tell us. In short, he's being a Fox News presenter. Because here is an email that Bowe Bergdahl wrote to his dad. The future is too good to waste on lies, and life is way too short to care for the damnation of others, as well as to spend it helping fools with their ideas that are wrong. Difficult to denounce that after seeing Greg. I've seen their ideas, and I'm ashamed to even be American. I'm sorry for everything here. These people need help. Yet what they get is the most conceited country in the world telling them that they are nothing and that they are stupid and that they have no idea how to live. We don't even care when we hear each other talk about running their children down in the dirt streets with our armoured trucks. We make fun of them in front of their faces and laugh at them for not understanding that we're insulting them. This don't sound like a man who just was some lazy, inefficient boor. This is a person having an emotional and spiritual crisis about the nature of what he's expected to do in someone else's country to fulfill the agenda of corporations like Fox News and their parent company News International.
That makes Bowe a brave whistleblower out to expose their villainy. It's a heart-tugging narrative. So, Kimberly, you are the prosecutor.
What he talking like that? He's been taking elocution lessons from Bill O'Reilly.
It's an unfortunate position, and the administration put us squarely in it by bringing this guy home, making it the cause celeb, opening up the Rose Garden. You can't hide from the facts in this case.
Well, you're doing a bloody good job. I've not seen one since the show started.
I do have to wonder what it is like to be his lawyers, to go in and suggest that he was the one that served with honor.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope he gets the max. Life in prison.
Let's kill him. Let's kill him in the Rose Garden.
A lot of people remember in Hollywood when the American Sniper came out that
Yeah.
Chris Kyle was considered the villain in that story.
Not by you. They nearly filleted him in one review.
Well, Chris Kyle is a hero, a real-life American hero.
The reason that the story of Bowe Bergdahl is a problem for them, for me it's because of his bloody ridiculous name, but for them it's because it's a narrative that flies in the face of their convention. We are prevented from thinking in a lateral, objective and logical way about military interventionism because we're told we have to be loyal to the troops, that it's unpatriotic to question what goes on in the Middle East. But the reality is, of course, that those troops are being used simply to enforce the will of giant corporations. America is the accountant of giant corporations, the accountant and the henchman, the mob boss for giant corporations. But when something happens like Bowe Bergdahl coming out and saying, my God, this is disgusting what's going on here, not from the position of liberal media or some guy perched on a bed in East London, but from someone who made the decision to pick up a gun and put on a uniform, we can't continue to believe their lies. Bowe Bergdahl's story prevents us believing the Fox News lies. That's why it's a problem to them. That's why they have to attack, annihilate, destroy Bowe Bergdahl, because otherwise the truth is those wars in foreign countries are unpleasant, unnecessary and built on lies. We all know that that's the truth, and Bowe Bergdahl's testimony demonstrates that.
It's despicable, but he is entitled to a presumption of innocence. He is entitled to American justice, despite the fact that we probably all agree that he's guilty.
The patriotic right-wing narrative is all about how we have to support troops and how we have to be loyal to the military, but the people that are least loyal to the military, that offer least support, are those institutions themselves. Here are some facts on that. 20% of all suicides in the United States last year were ex-service veterans. 30% of soldiers developed mental problems within 3 to 4 months of being home. 1 in 5 veterans of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars were diagnosed with post-traumatic distress disorder. And this statistic demonstrates the truth behind the pose of patriotism. 33% of homeless people in the US are veterans. 840,000 veterans are homeless at some time during the year in the United States of America. So that's their real attitude to troops. Their real attitude to troops is one of condemnation, not if they abscond or wander off or question the system. Always. They just pretend to care as long as they're not causing problems, as long as they're fulfilling corporate will. But if any of them dare to speak out or tell the truth or challenge the abiding narrative that Fox News profits from and these big corporations benefit from, then those people are not heroes. They're not supported. They become villains. Who supports the troops? Not Fox News. That's some true news. Subscribe here.
Is a tool that is abused to fool you and to leave you scared and confused. Trews is like the news. If the news was true, I want some Trews. Let's have some Trews.